Yeah, IFF is traditionally a company that specializes in flavors and fragrances. But in the new IFF, as we call it, since we joined IFF actually out of DuPont, we're more and more transforming into a bioscience company. We are the world leader in probiotics, for example, and health ingredients. We are a big player in enzymes, in dairy cultures. We have pharmaceutical excipients. And we are starting to apply more and more biotechnology approaches also to nourish and also scent ingredients. I lead globally in IFF the biotechnology research across 10 research sites, 4 in the US, 5 in Europe and 1 in China. So really an R&D role. Yeah.
When did IFF become involved in the Internships in the Valley program?
Well, formally, this is the very first year that we are really formally involved in it. We have had 2 previous Dutch interns that were sort of involved with events through the platform, but I think Friso is the first one that is officially recruited through the platform. The first Dutch intern that we had actually on site here in Palo Alto was in 2017. So we've been having these Dutch interns for quite some time. So.
Nice. Yeah. So you said Friso is the first intern. So can you describe his role and what he'll be involved in?
Yeah. So Friso is actually a molecular biologist, and we are especially in our enzyme business, we are sort of world-class we need to be world-class in enzyme production. And we use fermentation-based production using either bacteria or fungi to produce our enzymes. And the science underlying these strain platforms is well advanced. Typically in a company like ours, it's far ahead of what you would see in academia in these fields, and we need to be because those are our crown jewels for production. So year over year, we do improve our fungal strain platform to be more productive, better quality, etc. And that science has actually been vastly accelerating with the introduction of things like gene editing and high throughput screening, etc. And Friso's project is right in the middle of that. So he works in the improvement of our fungal strain production platforms using new approaches like Cas-CRISPR gene editing, etc.
And he's going to be part of the summer internship program. Can you just describe that briefly?
Correct. Yeah, in the US we have a sort of a unique, at least through a European lens, sort of a unique system with interns. So we don't have interns throughout the year, but we do every summer have a program that is limited to sort of 12 to 16 weeks, typically running from June to September, of summer interns. And there's typically anywhere between 7, 8, and 15 summer interns on site here in Palo Alto. We have a similar program on the East Coast in Wilmington, Delaware. And so we have the interns here for a relatively short period of time. We try to not only have interesting projects for them where they get exposed to science and see what it is to do science in industry, but also we set up some like seminar series for interns. You know, there are some social events for the interns. So we really try to also connect the interns among each other to see like have a really kind of a good experience in industry. And hopefully that contributes to them deciding what they want to do in the future. Yeah? Do they like research in industry? Do they like research, period? Right? So, we don't necessarily say everyone that comes in needs to go into an industrial R&D career, but I think it's probably a good experience for them to help kind of craft their experiences in a multiple environments and help them decide what they want to do in the future.
And then more generally, what qualities do you look for or even expect from an intern?
Yeah, so we're a very heavily science-based organization, and this is really an R&D side. So really the most important for our positions is high depth and breadth in science. So we're really looking for excellent scientific candidates that can really hopefully bring something to our technology development as well. Our internship mentors are scientists that are in the lab a lot of times too. They like to have good interns that are somewhat up to speed already with lab work, that we don't need in the limited amount of time that we have, that we don't need like a month to even teach them how to work in a lab. So I think the having passion and expertise in science is I think the number one for us. Apart from that, we do realize it is a big step for a Dutch intern to come to the US. So I think that requires a little bit of interpersonal skills as well. The culture here is quite different than how we do research in the Netherlands, and even how we interact with people in the Netherlands. So if you have a little bit of flexibility, if you are somewhat of a strong communicator, that helps too. And so again, I think science first, but I think it helps if you are open-minded, if you're adaptive, and just sort of ready to to take on the experience.
Do you have some general advice for students looking for an internship in the US, more specifically, maybe when it comes to timing and
Yeah, timing is an important aspect. So we are talking about a summer internship, but you do need to start applying already. Typically around us here as well. We're in Silicon Valley. They're all high-tech companies. They're all competing for talent. So we do want to ideally post our positions before the winter holiday break, Christmas. So I think you will need to be on the lookout for positions in the US in the fall, if not in early January at the latest, because we're really trying to kind of get commitment from talented students at that time frame to make sure we are seeing competitive candidates apply. So I think timing is an important aspect as well. And again, if you look at the technology ecosystem here in Silicon Valley, it is kind of a no-nonsense, very informal ecosystem, So it's even as compared to, I have a lab in France, it's excellent science there, but that country tends to be a little bit more formal. Silicon Valley in particular, maybe the US more generally, is very informal, so we don't need a lot of formalities here. If we are convinced the candidate has excellent, in our case, research qualities, and has sort of the right mindset and the right passion and an open mind, we are go. So.